Bench testing a 1958 Cadillac headlight switch with the fog light option. Serial number 09012022. Offered by TT Parts Rebuilding. Run-up test. Test number 1, tail and parking light operation. Test number 2, tail and headlight operation. Test number 3, dash lights low to high operation. Test number 4, tail and fog light operation. Front parking lights are off. Test number 5, circuit breaker test. And test number 6, switch terminals insulated from ground. For this run-up test, we'll be using a fully charged battery at 12.69 volts. For the run-up test, we'll be boosting up the battery with the charger. Have a run-up test boost of 13.39 volts. We'll also be monitoring the temperature of the rheostat during the run-up test. Test number 1, tail and parking light operation. First position, tail, front parking, and dash lights set to medium. Rheostat Fahrenheit about 92 degrees. Test number 2, tail and headlight operation. Back to first position, second position, tail light, front headlights, and dash lights remain on at half. Back to first position, and off. Test number 2, tail and headlight operation. Front parking lights off. First position, tail lights, front parking, dash at midpoint. Second position, front parking lights are off, headlights are on. Rheostat temperature 95-96 degrees Fahrenheit. Back to first position, tail, front parking, and off. Test number 3, dash lights low to high operation. First position, tail lights, front parking, dash lights. Using the rheostat, we're going to go to fully bright on the rheostat, to midpoint, to the off position. Going to second position, headlights, increase the brightness of the dash lights, full bright, back to midpoint, a little increase in temperature, back to first position, front parking, tail lights, dash lights, full bright, midpoint, and off. Back to midpoint, and switch off. Test number 4, tail and fog light operation. Front parking lights off. First position, tail lights, front parking. Now using the shuttle switch, we're going to switch from parking to fog and back to parking. Really classic cars had generators, and they weren't able to carry the extra voltage produced by the fog draw and also the parking light. So this option would either put on the fog light or the front parking. Going to second position, we have the front headlights, tail lights. You see that this option is not available in second position. Only in first position are we able to switch between front parking and fog lights, as indicated by these bulbs. Back to parking and off. Test number 5, circuit breaker test. First position, using a probe, we're going to break the circuit. These Delco Remedy headlight switches had an onboard circuit breaker using a bimetallic spring that passed the battery current to the switch. During a situation, if there's a short in the lighting circuit, this bimetallic spring would expand and break the circuit. So we see we have no front parking, no tail, no lights on the dash. Back on again, circuit is closed. Second position, with the headlights on, we see we have this circuit breaker is an interrupter in a situation if there was overheating. Back to first position and off. Test number 6, switch insulated from ground. Using a standard 12 volt test light, we're going to probe the chassis. And we're going to see we have continuity to the chassis of the switch. Then probing the terminals, we see that we have no continuity to the chassis. At the chassis we have continuity. If the switch body was shorted, we would have continuity back down to the chassis. It would be indicated with a positive light on this probe. Since there's no light only to the chassis and not to the terminals, this demonstrates that the switch terminals are insulated from ground.